Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. You know, in the beginning, ZEBLAZE created the Blitz. It had its own really tough charging dock that looked like this with a cover for the camera, and the saving grace of this watch was it was IP67. Even with these holes here, this puppy could be dunked. You could swim with it, you could shower with it, totally waterproof. Next, ZEBLAZE came out with THOR. THOR is an amazing watch with a really nice band, a much easier to use charging dock, a SIM port, not waterproof, however, still carrying the camera, the ZEBLAZE THOR. Today, I am proud to unbox for you guys the ZEBLAZE, they call it the THOR S. Oh my goodness, look at this, look at the packaging. Nobody has done it like this before. Here we go. It looks like we can just rip into it from this end. I know, slow down. Oh, savor every moment. Look at this, the THOR S 3G Android smartwatch. Unboxing. Taped in here. This is ready to hang on a display in a store. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe it'll come out by itself. Let's get in here and open it up. All right. Wow, check out this packaging. Is this gift ready or what? Ho-ho, hang that with the mistletoe, won't you? THOR S? Oh, I'm having a ball with this one. It's got its Wi-Fi, nano SIM, GPS, heart rate monitor, activity. It's got a screen that, I guess that's a screen protector because I can't imagine it's on. Oh yeah, I can see there's a little tab to pull it up. This is the THOR S. Totally different looks like than the THOR, and way different than the Blitz. It's got a soft TPU. I don't know what to call them. They call them rubber, silicone, liquid, I don't know, whatever TicWatch calls theirs. It's got that liquid feel to it, though. It's kind of like the TicWatch. Wow, it's soft. I wish you could. Can you feel that? Reach down there, rub it. Yeah, that's it. Rub it. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Now, these are non-removable bands, even though it looks like they got screws there, because they look really thick, and I'm sure there's antennas in them. You've got the ZEBLAZE logo and a port that you can put a SIM card in, heart rate monitor, charger. On this side, what the heck is that? There's a little hole that's recessed like in a cinematographical camera thing you'd find on a movie set. Is that a camera? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. It's got something like that on this side, only it's rectangular. One button over here, two buttons over here. Fortunately, they're labeled back, call, and power. And then, like I said, it's got the little cover protector on there. Woohoo! And there's the screen. Whoa! Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? A front-facing camera? Oh, you guys know about this already. I know. You've been reading up on it. You've been asking, when are you going to do the S? Get off your S and do the S. Well, here it is. Here it is. But wait, before we turn it on, we have to do the full unboxing, right? THOR S. Okay, there's more in here. There's a couple of compartments. What do we got? Oh, wow, it's one big whole thing. Okay, there's packages in this side. Oh, things are falling out. That's it for here. Empty box. We have a screwdriver and two screws, most likely for doing the SIM card in there. And we've gone away from the dock. Yeah, absolutely excellent. The standard 4 connector, magnetically coupled. Yes. Oh, it's about time. You can get these everywhere now. I mean, they're universal. All the different watch companies have pretty much migrated to the 4 pins. The outer 2 are for power, the inner 2 are for data when you hook it to your computer. They just attach like that and plug into your USB. So we standardize now when we've gone to the THOR S on the charger, and we've got a little ZEBLAZE English manual. Let's run through this. You know what? Before we do this, let's talk about it. I hate to put this off too long because you guys may be itching to order. Check the show notes because this comes to us from BangGood, and my gosh, we have tried hard to get this. Oh, the THOR S. It's 1 GB of RAM and 16 GB of memory. To me, that's the ideal configuration. You need a minimum of 1 GB to be able to do offline speech-to-text recognition. 2 GB is sometimes a bit much and might drain the battery. So that's the sweet spot. And 16 GB is awesome for the amount of memory you can get on a watch. And it's got a front-facing camera on here. Check the show notes for a good discount on this one, all right? And let's see what we've got. THOR S, Android 5.1. Here's our support for your regular 2G and 3G. Has these 2 frequencies, which is China, Canada, USA. I'm not sure where. Check your country. This is becoming standard on most all of these watches for 3G, which means your 3G data and phone call capability from SIM. All these languages are supported. Here's more information. It says it supports all of these with the SIM card, heart rate monitor, Wi-Fi 802.11b, G, and N for fast, high-speed Wi-Fi, GPS, every exercise plan, neat, message notification, haha, conserving paper, everybody, using one sheet. It says it supports a 5-megapixel camera. It's on the front. It might be different. All the other ones on the side have been 2 megapixels, up interpolated, meaning they kind of fake it to be 5 megapixel in appearance, but still a little bit fuzzy compared to a true 5 megapixel. Not sure how we'll verify that, but I'm going to try, and we'll check out the camera. Speaker mic, Google Play, weather, ebook, that's new, MP3, MP4 for video, and over-the-air upgrade support. Awesome. You'll be able to push for firmware updates. It's a 1.39 AMOLED 400 by 400 screen. That's pretty much standard. Corning Gorilla Glass 4 we're up to on here. Here's the processor, quad core with 1 GB 16. Nano SIM, 350 milliamp hour battery, a little bit light. Standby time of 48 hours. They're not mentioning the actual usage time, and with a front-facing camera doing live video conferencing, that might be, you might have a challenge, but anyway, we'll find out as you guys test it and let us know in the show notes what kind of battery life you're getting. I mean, in the comments down below. Yeah, heart rate monitor, proximity, accelerometer, and it's a stainless steel, plastic, silica gel. There you go, the band they call silica gel, which is different than that food, what do they call the other one I just did? Food grade, right? It was a food grade. This is silica gel, not to be confused with TPU or rubber or plastic, I guess. Oh, I'm excited about this one. Just out of the box, so we're going to charge it up and really check this one out. The ZEBLAZE THOR S. Yikes! The manual! Forgot the manual. I was so excited to show you where we got it that we have to come back here and take a look at the manual. There's how you do your SIM card. There's the buttons. A special button for call. That's interesting. Okay. Full. Watch faces, application list. Again, if you're on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, that's where this is published, you should be able to freeze, pause the video and read any of these pages if I'm going through them too fast for you. And if I'm going through this whole thing too slow for you, you do know on certain players you can go over and click that little settings icon on the right and increase the playback speed to 1 1/4, 1 1/2, or screaming fast 2 times. And you can just plow through all my verboseness at twice the speed, get through half the time, and miss 3/4 of what I'm saying, which is probably the amount of stuff that's superfluous that you don't really need to know, and hopefully you can catch the 25% that's important. Wow. Are we still in English? I guess we are. This is a long book. Of course, it's like all spread out and double spaced. Ah, there we go. Okay, right at the middle section, we switch into Chinese, which is in the back. Okay, that's the manual. Now let's play with it. Whee! Well, there's a lot of firsts on this watch. It's the first time I've seen one with a power button on the side. That's different. First one with a decent front-facing camera. Got a good speaker on it. ZEBLAZE has their own logo. That's impressive. The bezel has got like screws around the surface and then numbers on the inside of that. And then look, there's no black circle around the actual screen itself. So it's an edge-to-edge screen. Very impressive at first look. All right, we are in English, but you may as well see all the other languages it comes with while I have it on the screen. These are your choices. Wow, wow, quite a few. And it's default for English. Confirm. You can put in your weight, height, and walking target, as well as your gender. And then you can choose iOS, or I always work with Android. And you get your QR code to scan. This is going to allow you to bring up the WII Watch app, which is available in the Google Play Store and is the tethering app used by most watches. And unfortunately, it's not all that good, but it's what we have to work with. And then you're into the watch. Now, I haven't done anything but take it out of the box, so let's see. If I go down this way, I have the typical circle. Here's our outline for having the bright, when you twist your wrist to turn it on, the watch face on, I believe. That's a snooze mode, or sound on. Here's our Wi-Fi. We want to turn that on. Bluetooth is on already. This looks like that's your cellular data. Location services, and then brightness, full bright. Wow, dim is really dim. Medium, we'll run on medium, and you just saw bright. Different kind of an arrangement than we've seen on many of the watches. And then your weather panel. Once we're connected, hopefully, we'd have weather. So those are the 3 things that show up there. When you go down, whoa, look at this. We have a lot of dots across the bottom. This is going to be our fitness area. These would all be calculated from your steps, your calories, and your distance, step count, and then an overall chart by the week. And nothing else there. Then if you go to the left, we get notifications, which we don't have any. And you go to the right, you get our app drawer, and you get your music player. Then I got my roosters. They're back. You'd think it's spring. Anyway, here's the list of all of the installed apps in here. And I'm going to do a little bit more loading up with some of my customized apps, and then we'll come back and go through these one by one. Take a look at that. That is basically how the watch works. If I hit that, I go back, and we can take a quick look at the installed watch faces. And by quick, I mean I'm just going to page through them without going into them, so you get a feel for the watch faces. Some of these are new and different, like that one. And there. Most of these actually do look relatively new. Now we're getting back to some old standbys. I recognize these from before. You got quite a few different watch faces in here. Oh yeah. And as before, you hit the plus and you get to the server where you could download more watch faces once you're on Wi-Fi. And this is a handy little thing that automatically resets the ordering of all of the watch faces and makes sure that they got good integrity, so you don't end up bricking your watch for any reason. Okay, let's load this up and come back. Got a bunch of apps loaded in here, just about ready to show them to you, but in all of the swiping and testing and showing what we've got in here, I failed to mention that if you press and hold the power button, you get another whole menu. A little bright. I've got my display brightness app in here set up. There you go. At the top is that toggle between full round display or square for third-party apps, and that really was good for logging into the Google Play Store. I was able to get to the menus and see my ID and password and everything. And then you switch it back when you're done with it. Power off, rebooting, power save, and then your recent tasks. If you've been running any, you just swipe them off the screen to close them out. And that's the power button. And this needs a little more brightness for the watch face. Isn't that cool? Look at that. This is a developer-created watch face from quite a long time ago. One of my favorites. It's a blend of the Stargate, see this thing shining here, and another one that all merged together. Anyway, as you know, we've got lots and lots of videos on customized watch faces here. So let's take a look at the different apps we have installed. We have basic contacts. Again, it's a little bright. There we go. These could be your Google contacts as well. Here's a few that aren't any people that you're okay to look at these. And then you've got your phone where you have your touchpad to make a call using the SIM card. And you've got your messaging if you've done any text messages. Overall settings are pretty much the same as what we've already seen on all these different Android watches, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I am going to crank up my volumes though. I like to have the volumes full on a watch. And ringtones and stuff you can change. Your display, 1 minute. I'm going to change that from 15 seconds to 30 minutes. Want to make sure it doesn't time out on us. App adaptation, we still haven't heard a good description of what that does. Your app layout is sequentially, or it can be round. You've seen that before too. Not going to really go through that. Your connections for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi hotspot. You can go into airplane mode, GPS. You can do cellular networks, and all that you can turn on from that swipe from the main screen. But if you want to do it in settings, it's right there. Your gesture for turning the watch to see the time, and yes, it shows the watch face you've selected for a few seconds and then goes away, rather than the digital watch. That's all gone. We're not seeing any watches doing that anymore. You can turn off pedometer services if you don't want to do the health tracking right there in the gestures. Overall power savings, which shows you a graph and what's been used on your watch. Now, I've played with a couple of different things, but you can see mostly the screen and the watch idle are the two things that have been using the most power right now. And keeping the brightness dimmed is probably the best thing you can do to squeeze more life out of any of your smartwatches. Language and inputs, we already showed you the languages. You can input secondary different keyboards if you want to. Here's where you can set up voice input for speech-to-text recognition, and your text-to-speech output comes through here, and you can listen to it.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
Now that is loud, one of the loudest I've heard on a watch.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
Should give you an idea of how a phone call might work as well. Getting better all the time. Your overall date and time, where you can set it with AM, PM, time zone automatic or manual, and resetting the overall equipment, backing up your data, doing all that stuff if you want to, and uninstalling applications. To give you an idea of what I've installed, there's the AIDA 64 to see what's in here. Alpine Quest is a really neat app for tracking where you are on a variety of different background maps. And I do have a SIM card in here, and I tried this, and it works great. The Antutu test reports will do app backup and restore. CPU Z is a lot like AIDA64. The display brightness, some engineering mode access so we can check our GPS location. But I can tell you, it works really, really good, even somewhat indoors, because it nailed my location inside of a restaurant. Google search or Google Play. Here we go. Hangouts is the first time I'm really putting this in, so we can try VoIP, as in video over IP protocol. Hopefully I can do a video call with the camera. Now, if I don't get to do that in this video, it means I'm pushing this to get it out right away before the holiday buying season is over. And I'll do a follow-up video for doing the camera as a video calling device. I just don't know if I'm going to have time to make all that happen and get this out with you having enough time to buy it. And I am getting to really close to saying this is a good one to buy. I'm loving the smoothness and sensitivity that I've got with scrolling, everything. Open camera is a secondary, different kind of a camera I've been playing with than the stock one for working with the camera. By the way, it's through this one that I've been able to tell, as far as I can, that this is a true 5-megapixel camera, not a 2-megapixel one. Why? Because in the video, I can get full, what do you call, full HD, right? The 1080, oh, whatever the measurements are, not just the 720, but the larger, the full video. And you have to have 5-megapixel minimum in order to get full HD resolution, and Open Camera shows that it's supported. Therefore, it probably is a true 5-megapixel camera, which is a first. Most of the time, you can't get that. Settings search. There's Skype, in case we want to do a Skype call and try video on that. The overall speed test, by the way, with the SIM card in here, I was getting around 3.5 to 4 megabits per second on 3G, AT&T in the USA. Download and then upload was a little over 1.5. And Wi-Fi testing and YouTube, just a couple of more apps to throw in there. So it's shown in the uninstall application, but it's a great way to look to see what you've got in a watch. And then about the watch, so wireless upgrades, system updates as usual, which I don't have any. I tried those. It's a THOR S, Android 5.1. The thing you want to look at is your kernel version to see if it's similar to or newer than Saturday, October 28th, 2017, because that's the firmware I have on here, 2017 1028, right? Great. Okay. And that is settings. You notice I could either use the back button or swipe. Your standard stock browser, your standard calendar, just a basic one, doesn't let you enter dates or anything. Your standard alarm clocks, and then your camera app and your gallery app that's associated with that will come back. Music is your onboard music player. Oh, look, it's got a few things in here. I guess these are some of my ringtones and whatnot. Ding, 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 dolphin. Okay. It's actually indexing the ringtones as well. Sound recorder, we like to give that a chance to test it out. I guess I'm recording right now, and this is what it sounds like at my current volume. I'm going to say done. I'm going to say save. It's saving it. I'm going to go to the list and play it. Test it out. I guess I'm recording right now, and this is what it sounds like at my current volume. Okay, works all right. Not too shabby, not as loud as the ringtones, but loud enough to hear. Louder than on a lot of watches. File manager. I got a whole bunch of space. I still got over 10 gigabytes, and I filled this with apps and watch faces and all sorts of things you get to from here. And here's where I've installed a folder of apps, camera apps and launchers if I wanted to try other ones, and games and many, many apps that are in the APK format. And this is called side loading, folks. You take a bunch of those in a folder on your computer, you sync it to your watch, and then you install them from your watch and in the APK file directly into the watch, and it's the same as if you went to the Google Play Store and downloaded them, but way, way faster because you can just go in here and grab these. I want to do floating toucher, so I'll show you. I can scroll all the way down till it says install, and it's basically unpacking it from the package, the Android package, APK, and doing the installation into the watch. When it's completed, it can run as an app in the watch. And you could delete the APKs. I tend to keep them around because you never know. I might want to uninstall and reinstall them. I could say done, or I could say open, but for now we'll just leave it, and we'll leave all of that. Also, you have your clock skin folder, which is where you put in all of your watch faces. I've sequenced mine by alphabets and numbers in the order that I like them, because the way it'll display on your screen when you go through the thumbnails is alphabetical. In case you didn't know that, rearrange the names of the folders the way you like them, and then you can sort the order that they'll show up. Enough of that. And that is File Manager. Your health area now has got, looks like the old standard, your old pedometer, which lets you put in your information. Oh, okay, I guess you can do a step count against time if you want to do that by going there. And then you have your overall steps, which is what I've walked today so far. In the heart rate area, turns on the green diode. It's a single diode with the enhanced algorithm and that kind of an image display. Haven't really tested it. First time we're using it. They've gotten better. I got a whole video up on pulse taking with watches and how they've evolved over time. Generally, it's always a good idea, if you know what your true pulse is, get one of those finger things at your local drugstore that you stick it in and run with that one, and then check to see if it correlates with what you're getting on your watch. It should be pretty close. Another interesting test is you take your finger away and you see if it's still going to give you a heart rate on thin air. And if it says it's not able to read it and it goes back like this, at least you know you're really getting a valid connection. It's waiting to see your finger close enough to make contact to give you a reading. If you don't see that and it's reading a beer can, I saw a video on that. That's what got me questioning, are these things for real? And yeah, we got a pulse off of a beer can. Kind of slow, but you know, it was a third beer, I think. Weather is where you go in and you get your weather, but we saw that when we swiped. Once you're on Wi-Fi, you get your connection, you get your location services, you'll get your weather. It's working for me right now. Voice search is your basic Google search, he says, as it comes up. And it's loading into Google and doing all of the things that it likes to do. Yeah. What's it want to do? Well, we'll skip it. It works once you get it set up. Your overall Play Store is available. Google Maps, and it works really well, and that comes with it too. The Connect phone is the QR code you're going to scan, like I said, to get the Y-Watch app, which is not that great of an app. Sorry, folks, they still don't have tethering well on these, and this does not have the support for the new feature we're starting to see on a few watches, particularly the Kingwear ones, where you can do Bluetooth calling. Not on this watch yet. Open cameras, the other camera app I put in here to support this, as I mentioned, Display Brightness is the app that gives us that little thing on the side that I can slide. And now you're getting into all the custom apps you just saw before. Sports Target, here is where you set up things that'll notify you when you hit your target of 8,000 steps or 5 kilometers or 300 calories. And then this settings is where you set in your particular information on height, weight, and gender, from which I'm sure it calculates your calories and perhaps other information as well. Remote camera and all these other things have to do with tethering. If you're tethered to your phone, you can press that. Your phone will go into camera mode. You can take a picture from a trigger on your watch. Music control is where you control the music on your phone from your watch. Different than what we just saw earlier, where you play the music in your watch from that app. Find your device, obvious. It'll make it beep. Here's where you switch your platform between the two, and it's a totally different collection of things they show you, much less for iOS. So if you're running on an iPhone, you want to switch it over there. Sports data is showing my current data based on the steps I've walked today. Calories, distance, and total steps, with a circular thing that's going to change to reflect that. It's pretty limited in what its health capabilities are compared to a lot that we've seen where you can have outdoor running and treadmill and backgammon and whatever. This is just steps. If you want more or different, you have to install different apps to do that, because the stock ones are pretty limited. Here's something I put in that's going to take advantage of the camera, and I'm going to show you this one right now just to whet your appetite for the possibilities. If it's bright enough in here, we'll be able to do this. What this particular app does is it says cover the camera with your finger. Now, it's meant for a phone that has a light so that the light will shine in your finger, and you're getting the same thing as the diode shining in your finger, and the camera is working as the receptor for that capillary dilation. And if it's bright enough, I cover here and I say measure, and then I'm just going to touch the screen, but watch across the bottom and watch up here in the upper left-hand corner. Well, you know what? I probably have to have this in the square mode for you to see all of that. There we go. I'm going to press and hold. Ah, there we go. You see the little red stuff on the side? That's actually my finger over the camera. When you see those different circles, if I get it right, it's going to start getting my pulse. You see the numbers starting to fill in there? Now look at the little squirrely line down at the bottom. That's actually my heart wave. So I can do this fancy, sophisticated pulse reading that's built in with the diode right through an app. You can download this app and do it on your phone, or any watch actually that has a camera built into it, and you don't need a whole lot of outside light. There you go. And it's giving me an ad or something, which I'm done with that. There we go. Now, tiny little screen, 400 pixel, right? So the writing is really small, but if you can read it on the screen and I can stay in focus, you can see the data that it collected from that simple little test, including the heart wave. And that's awesome for a watch with just a little camera right here on the front. Okay. Back out of all of this. CPU-Z, let's get into some of the testing. This is one of those a lot of people use that tells you what's inside the device. It is so small. With the glasses that I've got on, I cannot honestly read it to you, which might be a good thing because I can move through it faster, right? So you just read it yourself. Oh, there, I brightened the screen, but did that mess up the camera? Maybe. Okay, see, it's still in the square. There. Let's play with it. How about like right there? Is that better? Is that readable? Another category, another category. You should see the memory in here and the processor and all that basic information. Uh-oh. Went into something. There's another page. And more information. And that's CPU-Z. Back out of there. That's very similar to the AIDA 64, which is black and white. Might be a little bit easier on the eyes. Maybe not. I don't know. This is a little larger for me. I can kind of read it here. The available memory out of the 1 GB. And then your overall storage space. And then you've got information about the processors and whatnot in here. Quad core and what they're doing. And some more information about the screen. We got a true, come on, focus here. True 400 by 400 pixel screen, right? And that's that one. Now we get into the fun. We're going to do the M22 Benchmark. First thing it does when you turn it on, and it asks for you to acknowledge testing, is it's going to switch to the 3D display. And it'll show you a little graphic. Oh, interesting. It's saying it's 304 by 304 is the effective dimensions it's using. I wonder if that's because I'm in the square display. Anybody know? Should be 400 by 400. Wow. Well, it is showing in the square. If I press power and I switch it. Yeah, see, it switched back big again. So I bet now it's in 400 by 400. Never encountered that before. That's interesting. And this is always fun to play because it's the closest you're going to find with me playing some sort of a game to show you, video resolution. I just don't do that. But this does a really nice job of testing a lot of the 3D parameters that go with it. So I'm going to pause now. We're going to let this thing run all the way to completion. Might take another 5 minutes, and I'll show you your M22 report. Pretty darn good. Yep, that's all that memory in here. Once you got at least a gigabyte of RAM and 16 gigabytes of total memory, you can get M22 reports well over 20,000, especially with the quad-core processor. So that's our M22 report. Whoa! Surprise! I love to surprise you with different watch faces. That's a nice one, huh? Again, another custom watch face. A little too much for me, though. M22, app backup and restore. In you go. Engineering mode, MTK, really tiny print. I know you got to scroll over to the third one, which is location services. You come in here. See, I need to be in the square again. Things are off the screen a bit. There we go. I'm going to tap on here. I'm going to turn on my GPS. It's going to want me to go through all this process of activating it, which I will. And now we turn it on again. Think it's on. There. Now you got the satellites. Let's put it back full screen. And they're all red right now. So I'm going to step outside so we can acquire the signal. Most of the time on your watches, it takes a little while the very first time. After that, it seems to be a little bit faster. And I've already acquired earlier today, so just a matter of me speeding things up. I'll be right back. There we go. We got a few of the satellites. They're kind of dipping back out a little bit, as they always do when you go indoors. But we had enough to acquire a good signal and location and all of that stuff. And that is our engineering mode Mtk Shortcut, if you wanted to download it. Now, gesture search and settings search, these are fun little apps that you can use to get around a bunch of the stuff that you can't normally get to from your system, like your accessibility. If we go into accessibility, go into magnifications and turn that on. Now you have the ability to triple tap and magnify the screen. That's built into this Android 5.1, maybe even the lower 4.4 versions of Android. It's right there, but it's hidden from us on the standard implementation of the settings. You didn't see that when we went through, did you? But it's really good to know, because if the writing is too small, and I probably should have done this on those other reports, once you've done it, it's on. Now if I were to go back up here to our CPU Z, for example, and I triple tap, he says, whoops, I gotta wait for a second. There you go. Now it's readable. I mean, it's not all on the screen, but you got to move around. But see, it's a 1.00 gigahertz, 4x ARM, so forth and so on. Okay, so now you learned a nice little trick. Do that on any of your watches. Just make sure you use one of those two apps, that gesture search, which I don't think is in the Google Play Store anymore. And definitely settings search. Everybody swears by that one. Once again, Skype, if I get it all set up, will show you voice over internet protocol, VoIP calling using Skype over Wi-Fi. And a voice should work even over cellular. I don't think video would, though. But we'll see. Wi-Fi signal strength just tests your router speed test will give you the overall speed test of your Wi-Fi or your cellular. Alpine Quest, again, is something that I've installed. This is really fun. Put it on your phone first. There's a lot of configuration needed to turn off things that are on the display. Make sure you're familiar with it, then put it on your watch. And with GPS turned on and cellular in your watch, or with your watch Wi-Fi tethered to your phone, drive around and watch what happens. If it's set up right, it'll automatically point the direction you're headed in straight ahead. Really cool. Doesn't matter how you're wearing your watch, it knows you're going in that direction in your car or walking or whatever, and it'll always have that direction pointed at the front of the watch. I use that all the time. And floating track toucher is what we just installed. This is going to give us an overlay of another little launcher that you can put little buttons on there to tap, or little spots, and be active. And since we're going to use this front-facing camera, I don't want to have to always go over into the apps and then search through the list and look for where the camera is to be able to activate it. That's really lame, and there's no fast way of getting there. So implementing a button on that to turn on the camera, and maybe turn it on into either regular camera or open camera or yet to be found camera app, is going to be a real boon. So probably going to do that in a follow-up video to this, because this is getting long and I got to get it out. Let's go through the buttonology final thing that we cover. And that's everything about the... Look at how scroll easy that is. This is a smooth watch. Really, really nice. That takes you back to, whoa, the watch face. And again, pressing and holding is how you'd get into all of this stuff, including clearing your recent apps. Like that. There, I've got some to show you now, finally. When you press here, it goes back. You press and hold, nothing happens. When you press the bottom button, it takes you to your contacts. And only the contacts, and it's not programmable for anything else, and that's why it says call. So no matter where you are, whatever you're doing, you're setting an alarm, you're in here, and you press that button, boom, you're right back to your contacts. Pick who you want to call them. It doesn't seem to be set up for like an emergency contact or for favorites. You have your whole scrollable contacts list. The good news is, though, if you've opened contacts before and you've scrolled it to where you want it to be, when you open it up, it's going to take you right back to that spot every time. Okay? All right. Let's show you a couple of more watch faces that are the stock ones. Oh, you know what? We didn't show you this either, did we? We talked about it. You get to the very end. Those are all my custom ones, and you hit the plus sign. And as long as you're connected to the internet, you're going to be able to get the display of all the different custom watch faces that you can install. Oh, that's kind of a nice one. Let's take that one. Telling you how much it is. Oh, there's another fun one. Let's bring that one in. And you can just scroll through these. It shows you 2 or 3 at a time. Wow, nice. Oh, look at that with little animals. All right, we'll take that one. And you can explore the rest on your own. I come back out of here, select it, and there you go. Animals of the world. Isn't that sweet? I wonder if they're horoscope animals. I don't think so. I don't think an owl and the hedgehog are horoscope animals. Here's that other one. And you notice as you go by, they have a little minus sign, and if you want to get rid of them, you just touch that minus sign. There, that's a nice one. Have I showed it to you on yet? Nice TPU instant on, nice flexible leather band. Great, holds nice on the sides. Speaker, I'm pretty sure, microphone on the other side, and there you go, with the camera right in the front. Did you guys ever watch the What the Bleep Do We Know thing? And the lady was talking, I think, in her phone, but I'd always thought, man, it would be so cool. She was down at the subway and talking to her boss about being late to the office or something. If she had a watch and she could be doing video calling that way, that would be really cool. So speaking of video calling, I will put together, I hope, a short little video for you to show how well this works with something like Hangouts or some VoIP thing. Going to take a while to set up. We're going to publish this right now, so those of you who want to buy this for Christmas can do so. And here's how you do it. Simple as looking in the show notes down below this YouTube channel and click on the link that you'll find there from BangGood. It'll take you right to this page. Check out for our discount coupon as well. And this can be on its way to you. The ZEBLAZE THOR S. Totally different than the original Thor. I mean, it's a movie spin-off of itself. It doesn't even use a hammer. I'm not sure what tool it would. It's a Thor, but it's a whole different kind of Thor. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Really appreciate your subscription, gang. That helps us out. We're getting a bunch of you guys brand new to the channel, so be sure you roam around and take a look at some of the other watches we have to offer here as well. There's a whole bunch of them. And display brightness, this little slider app, I'm going to have a link to that in the show notes as well because it's no longer available in the Google Play Store, but it's one of my absolute all-time favorite apps to float on top of anything that's going on your smartwatch, no matter what you get. So pick that one up too and have fun. We'll see you again soon. Mr. Ticks, what are you doing? You did this whole review and you didn't even show them the camera? That's ridiculous. I know setting up video conferencing is a challenge. However, you can at least show them the camera. Oh. Hello? Hello? Hi! There's the camera. Front facing, right there. I got a little thing here. Can you see that? It says, enjoy the ride. If I don't get it in front of the... Wow, this is multiple cameras on top of multiple cameras. But there you go. How do I do this? Hi, okay. I'm going to try to show you this, this, and this, and I'm going to take a picture. Whee! Oh no, did I blink? I'm going to do a video. Oh, it's long and thin and vertical. Okay. And maybe there's some settings you can go through to make it a little bit different if you wanted it horizontal, but for right now, it's taking the clip that way. I can hit the button and stop it, saving it, and then we can hopefully play them back. Here's the video. Oh, it's long and thin and vertical. Okay. Maybe there's some settings you can go through to make it a little bit different if you wanted it horizontal, but for right now, it's taking the clip that way. Okay. And there's the picture. Oh, I like my smile. Yeah, right. Let's see. If I double tap, does it do anything? No. If I pinch it, does it do anything? No. So it's just like a lot of these cameras, it's your basic picture. If I triple tap it and hold, oh no, the triple tap zoom doesn't. Oh yeah, there it does. There it does. We got it. Okay. So you can at least implement the Android method of expanding it. Yeah. All right. You have a little bit of capability there. What about the other camera? You still with me? Okay. You diehards. Open Camera. This is a third-party app you can get off the Google Play Store. And when you launch it, you're in here. And it's really different. There we go. There we go. I just put another 30 pounds on. Click. And it just took a picture and it froze it. Now, this one I pretty much have to be in the square. So I'm going to switch it over. And back again. Okay. Because you got to see that you can accept it somewhere here. You can say, okay. I think you just tap it again. Yeah, that saved it. And you see this little thing is a zoom. I can zoom in. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's take that one. And it went in there, so it saved it, and it froze it so you can see it. And I think there's a trash can down there. You can throw it away if you don't want to keep it. But lots of capabilities when you add more things to these cameras or to the watches, the third-party apps. Well, I'm not getting the brightness thing any brighter, but there you go. Lots of stuff you can do. And again, video conferencing, video calling is something we haven't done yet, and that's for another day. All right, now I'm really done. Bye.